This is Mechatex in Central Texas, and we're testing our system here in preparation for back on the moon again tonight, which is on June 15th, and the weekend of 14th, 15th, and 16th. So we will be doing a webcast probably only on Saturday the 15th. So we're going to do a little bit of switching here. First, we're going to show you Stellarium. Hopefully all this will work as we get our testing done. The sound appears to be a little bit low, but sound looks okay on the monitor. And there's Stellarium. You can see the moon there, and we're still in sunset. Sunset was at 8:30, and it's now about 9:19. I haven't checked the clock lately. Forgot to put up our clock on the side. We'll do that next time, and so on. But anyway, what we'll do now is switch to the moon, and what we're using is C-Star S50, and we're using a tablet to track the moon. And I'm in the house in our studio, and the C-Star is out in the backyard. So it's a fair distance from here, and we're still able to get a good picture and control it. So we'll do a switch here and see what it looks like. And there's our switch. And you can see down there the controls for the tablet. We have already taken some pictures, and I've got it in horizontal because that's just the way this tablet works. So, and those controls will be on top of the moon for the time being. I can turn the tablet vertical, and you'll see that, but the bottom line is all we're doing is testing right now. Specifically, we did a test last night, which worked fine. We tracked the moon and did a video YouTube live that lasted for 1 hour and 25 minutes without sound. So tonight we're trying sound, and I'm going to take my insert off there, and you won't see any more the way it is because C-Star is made in that telephone or cell phone framework of portrait, which I think is really outdated, but it seems that the professionals seem to prefer C-Star. The dwarf, we have a few dwarfs that we use too, and we'll be trying those out in a little bit. You can see we're getting near a full moon, so if we have clear nights, looks like we'll have one more clear night on Tuesday night, which is tomorrow, and then Wednesday we're supposed to have storms, so probably won't get any further than this. So I'm going to tip this up and see if I can move that moon up some. You can see it doesn't do too good on moving up. I'm not really sure why. And there we are. We're above the controls now, so you can see a full moon. So I'll take another 2 pictures here. I just pushed the button down there to take a photo, and I'm going to take 2. I'd already taken 4, so now I'm going to put this down, and we're going to go pick it up on another computer in another part of the house this part of the house is pretty well taken over with our computers and televisions. So the other computers in the other room, a living room. So I'm going to put it up there, and then my wife can watch it. So I'm trying to decide here now. I can mute the sound, and I'll be talking and mute it and to make sure it stops. So it looks like we have to learn how to manage sound. Okay, there we are again. And we've been going for probably a half hour now. And when we turned the sound off for some reason, our switching system turned the sound off. Not really sure why, so I had to go turn it back on. So anyway, I'm hand holding these microphones now, and I'm going to see if I can walk outside and continue to talk to where the drone is, and later on I'll have a camera. We're working on an infrared system at this point in time to see if it can show the outside view as we're out there. So anyway, you can see the moon is still being tracked relatively well. It's moved a little bit off to the side, so it does drift a little bit over a period of time. We found that out last night. We had a drift over the hour and a half about 3 times and had to move it back and center it. So, but anyway, that's not too bad. So anyway, right now, what I'm going to do is go back to the switcher first of all. And then I'm going to take the picture off and I'm going to walk outside. And I'll put maybe Stellarium back on. It looks like it still isn't. If it's running in real time, it doesn't look like it's dark enough. But anyway, we'll see. So I'm going to take myself off here and walk outside and tell you when we're there. And then I can check this. I'd like to have somebody else on at some point in time where we can communicate with some kind of system. Normally, we use Zoom for this, but with this complicated system that we've got set up now, we're just checking things one by one. So right now it's a C star, and tonight it's sound, and then in the very near future we'll start working with the dwarf too. So, but we have dwarfs spread out over Texas, and hopefully some people who take them on vacation from our group to Florida or California will get online with us too. So it depends on when they're there and what there is to see in the sky. So right now, I'm going to walk outside. And now I'm out on the patio, and it looks like our sound, I'm looking inside, is still doing okay. So, more than likely, if it did okay there, it'll do okay all the way up to the dwarf. And then I'm going to block the dwarf so you can see I'm blocking it around and I'm out in my backyard and there it's unblocked and it's hopefully still tracking. So, and now I'm going to feed a little bit of light into it. Probably not too good idea. And there we are. So now I'm on the way going back into the house and we'll see if the sound's still going. That means that more than likely this works. So we did have some views from last night. We did intend this to be viewed, but we put up for public. So anybody wants to make comments, we usually leave the comments on. So it looks like the sound is still working fine. And now I'm going to walk into the other computer and see if what sound's coming out there. Did have trouble getting the other computer online. It's an old computer and relatively slow. Going back into the house, and we'll see if the sound is still going. Okay, I walked in there, and for those who know, uh, the latency is about 20 seconds, so I could see myself 20 seconds ago. And interesting enough, I did not get any feedback, so it looks like the sound is working fine and video's working fine. So I'm going to take myself off right now and we can watch the moon. What we're trying to do is to see how long this will track. So, how long a program we can actually do on that night. We'll be outside at a library doing a public outreach program. So, anyway, I'm going to not cut off, but I'm going to be off for a while. And I may do some switching. So, right now, first thing I'm going to do is switch to Stellarium. And there you can see Stellarium. And you can see it still is not dark, it's darker on the laptop that this has got plugged in, and you can see some stars on the laptop. So up there, it looks like the brightness a little bright yet, but anyway, it looks pretty dark. So not astronomical twilight yet, but we're getting there. So I'll take myself off and put the moon back on, and we'll watch the moon for a while. Well, I just checked out. I was watching this and from the monitor computer, and I'm not sure what came up or why that came up. I was about ready to turn this off in a few minutes anyway. But anyway, that was a cover that we 3D printed for the dwarfs. It's a nice cover. It's on Thingiverse, and you can download it and print it off. So somehow I must have that as a picture on this tablet. So I didn't think I did, but anyway, it came from somewhere. Um, our 3D printer is a bamboo and it's connected over the internet. So it might have cut into something else on the internet. I'm not really sure. But anyway, so far it looks like we're doing fine. So I'm going to go out one more time and check the sound outside. And then we'll call it a night. So I'm going outside now to check the sea star. And as I said, in the near future, I hope to have a we're doing outside. The research we've done, it looks to go with spectroscopy, also or spectrometers. There's lots of them. We're working with two software programs, and we're going to 3D print our own spectrometer, and then in hopes we'll be able to switch over to that as we're doing some spectrometry on some stars. Our problem is we're in a light polluted area, and we probably won't get a whole lot unless we move outside of this area. So far, we haven't been able to get any stars. The moon comes through fine. But anyway, the new Dwarf 3 that's coming out supposedly has three filters in it, and it will have a light pollution filter. We're also getting a light pollution filter for the Sea Star, but it won't be here for another week. So we'll be trying those as time goes on here. So anyway, this was a good test, and if there is anybody watching or watching tomorrow on this, you're welcome to make comments. Would like to know what you think and how it looks wherever you're at. So I'll do one more switch to Stellarium before we cut off so you can see what Stellarium is doing with all this. And there's Stellarium. And you can see it is now dark. So we're probably pretty near astronomical twilight now, and so on. So going to give it a few seconds there. Then we're going to switch over to what we're working on is Armistice 2. And we're going to be doing a walk on the moon on the moon night as our outreach. And when we do walk on the moon, we have a moon map on the floor, and we're going to set up the north hemisphere with Apollo type artifacts that our mentored students have 3D printed. And then we're going to set up the southern hemisphere where the Novia C spacecraft is. And we've actually 3D printed that. We 3D printed many little ones to give out as gifts. And then a big one that will be on the moon map, tipped over. And it's in 4-color as it was printed on a bamboo printer. So anyway, that's what we're leading up to with all this. And if anybody would like to join us, you're welcome to. And especially if you have a dwarf, too. Um, I'm not sure how we're going to continue. If at one point we'll do Zoom. With Zoom, we can have chat and various things. So basically, we've done a lot of Zoom in the last 2 years, but it adds one level of complexity to the way this is complex already with the switcher you can see. So I'll switch me back on, and then I'm going to switch on the Arminus logo. If I can figure out how to do it, and then we'll end this session. So let's take one more look at the moon. And there we are, which is hopefully we will be first up there and first to walk on the moon, but we need to do a lot more work on it to beat China and so on. So, okay, let me see. I probably have to do this from the software. And there we are. And there's Armus. You can see that's a diagram and drawing coming from NASA. You can see the various stages for Armistice. Yeah, that is Armistice 2. That it's going to take as it circles around the moon. So, and this, I believe, is going to be a manned mission, but they will not set foot on the moon. So anyway, we're going to sign off here. And we'll try this. We haven't done this yet, but we're going to do a fade to black, I think. And there we are. We're faded to black.